was just kind of repeating, is like talking about shaft and head relationship, so that, like, you know, when you obviously de-loft by leaning the shaft forward, you're going to take off 1 degree of loft and 1 degree of bounce simultaneously. It's a 1-to-1 relationship, right? So if you take off 5 degrees of loft, 5 degrees of bounce, so on and so forth. Same thing with adding, right? But then the kicker is that the shaft, when you move it left and right on a straight line, because of the angle that the club is sitting, it opens and closes the face at the same time you're de-lofting, de-bouncing, right? Adding loft, adding bounce. So, right, you don't think about it. It's hard because we think about golf so linear in terms of vertical 90 degrees and horizontal 180, right? But the reality is we play give or take close to somewhere in a 35 to 45-ish degree angle for most players, right? And so we have to think about how the geometry of the club fits that in the swing on that plane, right? That's why Ben Hogan talks so much about the plane, right? That's such an important aspect. And that's kind of what we've been talking about with your follow-through, right? Because you get away from that plane so much, and that face you have to manipulate to hit, right? So if you keep that guy here, you don't have to do as much manipulation, right? So all of that plays a factor of understanding the geometry of this plays in the geometry of
That's fucking gold, dude. So if you wanted to draw backward.
So theoretically, this would close the face. So if I'm having to want to hit more of a draw shot, I got this guy pointed more at my belt buckle. I'm not leaning that really any further back than that. But if I want to hit more of that kind of lower fade shot, I'll forward press that thing a little bit and hold it. But you also have to think, on a driver, you can get away with that a little bit. But most clubs, even drivers slightly, are offset. So anytime you lean the hands forward, it actually fucks with that offset a little bit and increases it, which is going to naturally hook the ball for you, hook the ball, right? So that's also a weird one that feels counterintuitive because, you think, I open the face, but the more offset you have, the more it fucking takes it left.
This thing has never once looked like good behind the bottom end. Where do you think square is with this? Let's go over basic shit.
So this club is designed, especially how you have that setting, to naturally sit open. So if you lay it flat, it should be open, right? So like if you had that guy perfectly straight to your line, which you do, that face is playing a little bit open, right? Crazy, which is fine because that's what you want. You don't want that left miss, so let it sit open. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Focus on that path.
I think hit it with the heel for me on purpose, but and I know I'm gonna hit the middle, but if I think hit it with the heel, if that'll make my path be more correct.
So you can think about. Some people think about
hit it with my heel on purpose.
Well, some people work on, which is kind of hitting on different spots of the golf ball, right? So for the players who, like you can sometimes get too much on top of it, right? You're gonna want to come at the inside of the ball more, right?
The inside half of the baseball is what we used to say too. So
exactly.
You can hook it.
So you can focus on that, which in your case, you're kind of talking same thing. You're kind of focusing on getting to that heel.